choices, John Concannon.
There is nothing funny about a dissolution of a marriage. But then again, I would have never met Linda, Debbie, or Nancy through online dating. Online dating is like buying flavored beef jerky. There are so many choices, you would think one would be right for you. What should I choose? Someone who's athletic, college educated, or a trust funder? Who would my mother choose? If you want to find a woman, you must think like a woman. My mother would choose a trust funder. I love my mother. My first trust funder that I met was Linda. She had touch issues. Linda had a voice like Grace Kelly, and she made beautiful handmade ribbons that benefited cancer research. And she liked to tickle people. She tickled people she didn't like. We were going down the cereal aisle in Smith's, and she started to tickle me. And I said, wow, you know what, I like when my lady tickles me. This must be a sign of comfort and of love. Soon, though, it reminded me of how cute and funny Pee Wee Herman was, until I found out that he went to movies by himself. On every third tickle, she punched me in the ribs. Some would call this passive-aggressive behavior. By the time we got to the milk aisle, I was bawling. I never hurt so bad after I left that supermarket that day. My second online date was Debbie. She was blonde and had blue eyes. She was beautiful. She lived in a big house, had 7 bedrooms, and too many servants to count. When I went up to her house, I knocked on the door, and the butler answered the door. He gave me instructions that I needed to go to the dining room and sit next to the intercom. I talked to her at an undisclosed location in the house. She wouldn't tell me where she was. We had a beautiful dinner, served by our servants as we talked through the intercom. She was quite shy and had trust issues. After a while, I said, when am I going to meet you? And she said, well, the resemblance of yourself that I see through the video cameras reminds me of my grandfather, who's in prison. That is not a good sign. The third one was Nancy. And Nancy was the most imaginative of all the trust funders. She had hired 10 kids under the age of 10 to throw water balloons at me as I walked to her door. I found out later that she did that to every 5th online date in order to get even with the previous 4. It's all about timing. Seeking love and finding love online is not for the weak of heart. When life offers you changes, it also offers opportunities. When seeking love, I am reminded of a quote from Groucho Marx. And he said, If you can see through women, anyone who says who can see through women is missing a lot.